the quiet hum of the refrigerator. It feels loudest in an evening kitchen. A steady, low thrum outlines the stillness. In that stillness, you might find yourself at the small bin, holding vegetable peels. Peels rest in your palm like a question you didn't mean to ask. A wilted edge of lettuce, the papery skin of an onion, a speckled curve of a banana peel. One by one, they slip from your fingers, disappearing into the darker space below. Hello, my friend. Glad you found your way in. Here with me tonight, in a small kitchen. You don't need a backyard. No extra energy. Only a little corner, and one gentle habit. The secret I share, without any fuss, is this: compost in an apartment, without bad smells, and without fruit flies. If you learn one simple rhythm from the start, by the end, you'll know that rhythm, and how to make it feel easy. As scraps fall, a small pang appears, almost imperceptible. Not dramatic, just a soft discomfort. A useful life, something that held life, now discarded. A small ending in an unfinished cycle. Many know this feeling, especially in small spaces. Where every object earns its place, we yearn to be less wasteful, save money, to live closer to nature's patience. The world outside feels so vast. We stand with peels in hand, wondering, is there an honest way to help? Without turning our home into a project, then the questions arrive. Worry about smell. The fear of tiny, unwelcome visitors. Concern about clutter. Counters already full. Composting conjures images of backyard heaps, steaming and sprawling, belonging to wide air. If you sighed, maybe this isn't for me. I understand. I've been there too. But what if we reimagine composting as something else entirely? Not a grand task, not a perfect hobby. Think of it as soil making in miniature. A small, private alchemy, right where you live. Not a heap, but a gentle container. Not a burden, but a comforting rhythm. Calm comes from closing a loop, even a tiny one. Banana peel isn't just gone. It's feeding green life again. So let's picture it together, slowly. A modest vessel, tucked beneath the sink, or on a pantry shelf, in a shaded corner. It won't ask anything of you. It holds a gentle promise. Transformation can happen even here. My own start wasn't brave or dramatic. It was a whisper of curiosity on an ordinary day. I wasn't trying to solve the world's problems. I made peace with daily scraps, keeping my home calm and pleasant. What surprised me, this practice was practical. It was also soothing. First step, choosing the right container. A kind place for us to begin, not expensive. Just something simple, something that feels good, blends into your space. A ceramic crock with a lid, a sturdy bucket with a cover. The point, a vessel unobtrusive. It holds its work quietly, the small detail for safe apartment composting. You need a lid that closes well, and contents need to breathe a little. A lid gives peace of mind, helps the kitchen feel tidy. Breathing keeps compost from going sour. Some containers do this naturally. If yours closes tightly, open it daily. For a few seconds, like a room sighing. That tiny moment is often enough. Once you have your vessel, the rhythm begins. This rhythm keeps things fresh and discourages fruit flies. It's the quiet partnership, greens and browns. Greens are fresh kitchen scraps, vegetable peels, fruit skins, cores, coffee grounds, tea leaves. Greens bring moisture and energy, but greens alone get wet and heavy. If compost can't breathe, it can smell. Browns are dried materials, rich in carbon. Torn, unbleached paper towels, not oily. Egg cartons, small pieces of cardboard. Shredded paper without glossy ink. Even dried leaves from a houseplant. Browns create structure. Pockets of air. They drink up extra moisture. In an apartment, browns are quiet guardians. Don't treat this like a science experiment. Add coffee grounds, then torn paper. Toss in peels covered with dry cardboard strips. Remember this one thing always. Tuck fresh scraps under a blanket of browns. That simple habit keeps the bin calm. Something comforting about that blanket of browns. Like making a bed for the scraps. Giving them privacy, a place to settle. If you worry easily, remember compost is not fragile. No perfect ratios or constant attention needed. It asks for two simple kindnesses. A little dryness and a little air. When those are present, everything sorts itself out in time. You might wonder what belongs and doesn't in indoor compost. In a compact space, keep things simple, mostly plant scraps, coffee grounds, tea leaves, and paper-like browns. Oily, very wet, or strongly scented foods. They can make the bin harder to keep calm, especially when learning its mood. If uncertain, set that scrap aside. For regular trash, keep compost peaceful. This isn't about being perfect. It's about building trust with the process. In small homes, a quiet truth. You don't have to compost everything. Still benefit from composting. Even a portion of your scraps, coffee grounds, vegetable peels, herb ends, can change how your kitchen feels. It softens the sense of waste without overhauling your life. Slow living is allowed to be partial. It's allowed to be human. From time to time, you stir gently, not vigorously, like folding something tender. This helps air move through. If it looks soggy, it needs more browns. If it looks dry and papery, add moisture. But scraps usually provide plenty. You learn by noticing and responding. Now, about odor. In a small space, it's real. A healthy bin should smell earthy, like soil after rain. If you notice something sour or sharp, contents are too wet and tightly packed. In other words, it can't breathe. The remedy is simple. Add more browns. Then give it a gentle stir. Even torn strips of a paper bag help. Main goal: structure and airflow. Remember the blanket. Bury fresh scraps. Beneath browns, this softens smells. Keep surface less interesting to fruit flies. Fruit flies drawn to exposed, sweet scraps. So we don't leave scraps exposed. We tuck them in, we cover them. We keep the lid on. Adding something tempting, like a banana peel, chop it smaller, bury it deeper. Then cover it well. Some keep scraps in the freezer until ready to add them. That can help, but not required if your brown blanket is steady. After a week or two, the bin changes. Not a project, but a living corner of your home. Lift the lid and peek inside, like checking a quiet plant by the window. Not out of duty, but curiosity. What is happening in there? What unseen life begins its work? You may notice textures changing. Coffee grounds disappear, fruit softens. It's a slow show, but satisfying. A small bin teaches you about pace. Some days you cook more, scraps come quickly. Other weeks are simpler. The bin rests. If your bin fills faster than it breaks down, that doesn't mean you failed. You're adding faster than nature can work. In that small space, keep a second bag of browns nearby. An old paper bag of torn cardboard. Every addition gets a light covering. Another option, pause the flow of greens. For a day or two, let the bin catch up. If you have a burst of scraps, a freezer can be a quiet helper. It holds things still until you're ready. Keeps your kitchen calm. When you stir, pieces linger longer. Eggshells remain as pale flakes for a while. And that's normal. A thick stem may take patience. Composting teaches us patience. Stop demanding speed from everything. The goal isn't to erase every trace quickly. The goal is to let the mix move slowly toward earthiness. Eventually, the bin feels done enough. It may not look like perfect garden compost. In apartments, finished compost is a mix. Dark soil and a few recognizable bits. That's still valuable. Sift out larger pieces with your fingers. Return them to the bin for more time. Or use it as a gentle top dressing, or pots, where transformation continues quietly. Here's a small, practical comfort. No need to wait for a huge compost harvest. Even a handful can be meaningful. A little around a plant's base helps potting mix hold moisture. A small scoop, mixed into fresh soil, brings life back to tired containers. It is a modest kind of richness, suited to modest homes. Then one day, you'll glimpse something. Beneath the newest scraps, a darker layer, uniform, richer in color. That's the first quiet sign. The transformation has begun. Unseen workers do what they do on forest floors. Only now, they're doing it for you. In miniature, inside four walls. Over time, it becomes kitchen rhythm. Peel a potato. Hand reaches for the bin. Finish coffee, grounds find their new home. The small pang of waste begins to soften, replaced by a quiet satisfaction. You're not simply throwing away. You're closing a loop. Then comes the moment of real magic. Stir gently with an old spoon or trowel. Beneath newer layers, you find it. Dark, crumbly earth. It doesn't smell like rot. It smells like soil, like rain, on rich ground. Sift it through your fingers. It feels light and alive. This is finished compost. Your soil making in miniature is complete. That first glimpse is a personal triumph. Proof. Even in a small apartment, with limited space and energy, you can help something transform. A tangible link to ancient cycles. Your home is not separate from nature. What do you do with this homemade soil? In small homes, it's a perfect offering. To potted life. A spoonful around a fern on the windowsill. A sprinkle around an herb plant. One that's been trying its best. Mixed into potting soil when you repot. Or applied as a thin top layer. Like a quiet, nutritious blanket. You don't need much. Compost is concentrated kindness. When plants respond with brighter leaves and steadier growth, it feels complete. A visible completion of the loop. If new here, and this quiet living comforts you, you're very welcome to subscribe. This channel is a gentle place for budget-friendly growing, simple rhythms, and companionship in the everyday. Come back whenever for something calm. We'll tend these small corners together. Quiet wisdom in caring for small cycles, especially when the world feels overwhelming. Composting becomes a grounding presence, an anchor in daily life. Replaces vague anxiety with gentle purpose. It whispers, your small acts matter. You can't control everything, but you can transform something. Right now, within your own four walls. More happens than turning scraps into soil. Waste can feel like quiet grief. A sense of something ended too soon. When we compost, throwing away becomes continuing. We turn the end into a beginning. That small reframe can soothe the mind in a way we don't expect. Loss becomes transition, not disappearance. The scraps are not truly gone. They are changing form, becoming foundation for new life. This tiny practice echoes ancient wisdom. Decay and renewal are partners. Natural world feels distant beyond glass and concrete. You can still participate in that cycle, in miniature, manageable, personal, gentle. If we listen closely, compost offers a lesson, a quiet lesson beyond gardening. It reminds us useful doesn't end. When something looks tired, it just changes form. In slow living, we practice this with objects, money, our own energy. We let things become what they can next, without rushing or shaming for being small. Even a small corner can hold a future when we tend gently. As evening settles, your home grows still. Feel quiet comfort in a humble corner where transformation is unfolding. Banana peel and coffee grounds. Not just waiting to be taken away. They are becoming something else entirely. Becoming dark, rich earth, nourishing a plant on your windowsill, or enriching a pot on your balcony, or steadying an herb that keeps you company. This simple process, patient and small, reminds us modest spaces hold hopeful cycles. Small homes participate in nature's story. It is a gentle, continuous offering. In that offering, deep and abiding peace.